Okay, I want to start with a question that sounds simple, but I think the answer reveals a lot about how our brains work. If you found a $100 bill on the sidewalk, just fluttering there, how would you spend it compared to earning that same $100 at your job?
Oh, that's a classic. The found money. Let's go to a nice dinner, maybe a gadget I don't really need.
Right.
The earned money, the stuff from the paycheck,
Yeah.
that goes into the mortgage.
Yeah.
Or, the boring savings account.
Exactly. We treat them like two completely different currencies.
Yeah.
But a dollar is a dollar. Mathematically, it's the same.
It is. It's what economists call mental accounting.
Yeah.
We put money into these different mental buckets based on where it came from. And that free bucket,
It gets spent carelessly.
almost always.
And that very concept mental accounting is sort of the villain in the story we're covering today. We're doing a deep dive into a fascinating narrative from a user named Ben Sim about a leaky kitchen faucet and how Singapore's climate vouchers accidentally triggered a masterclass in risk management.
It really is a journey. Our sources on this span from late 2024 all the way to early 2026, and they chronicle this whole struggle just to get a working sink. But what's amazing is how quickly a plumbing problem becomes a philosophy lesson.
One that involves Charlie Munger, of all people.
Yes, the legendary investor.
I have to admit, when I saw Charlie Munger and kitchen faucet in the same source pitch kit, I thought you'd made a mistake. Like pages got stepped together in the printer.
It sounds like a stretch, I know. But by the end of this, I think you'll see that buying a faucet and buying a stock,
Yeah.
they require the exact same mental system, if you do it right.
Okay, so let's set the scene. It's late 2024. Ben Sim is a homeowner in Singapore, and he gets these climate vouchers from the government. For our international listeners, can you just give us the quick rundown? What are these?
Sure. It's a government subsidy, really. They give you digital vouchers, basically free money, to encourage you to buy more energy-efficient or water-efficient appliances.
So it's a nudge.
It's a nudge, exactly.
All right, so Ben has this free money, and he needs a new kitchen faucet. What does he do?
He does what most of us would do. He goes for the easy win. He wants to spend as little of his own cash as possible. So he goes to a big supermarket chain, NTUC Fair Price Extra, and finds a faucet for $38.
$38. Wow, that is cheap.
It is. And since he used the vouchers, his out-of-pocket cost was effectively zero.
See, that feels like a victory. You walk in, get what you need, and you don't even open your wallet. It feels like you hacked the system.
It feels like a victory in the moment. Ben even noted the packaging said Singapore-made product.
Which carries some weight.
A lot of weight. You associate made in Singapore with quality control, with reliability. He felt secure.
You don't expect a lemon with that label.
No. So he installs it, feels good, he's beaten the game. But then, fast forward to early 2026, less than 2 years later.
And then you hear that sound. That dreaded sound.
Drip, drip, drip. The faucet fails. And not just a small leak. Ben describes it as a total failure. And you can feel the frustration in his posts. He says he was really disappointed. It wasn't just the wet counter. It was, a sense of betrayal. The label let him down.
This is that false economy trap, isn't it? It reminds me of the old Vimes boots theory.
Precisely. You buy the cheap boots, they wear out in a year. So you buy another pair and another.
And over 10 years, you've spent way more than the person who just bought the one expensive, durable pair.
Exactly. Ben's free faucet was now costing him time, stress, and more money.
So he's back to square one, broken sink, but this time he's a bit more skeptical.
He is. And he still wants to use his remaining vouchers, so he goes back to the official merchant list. And this is where the story takes a turn into what I call the Wild West of digital commerce.
You're talking about the ghost shop?
The ghost shop.
And this part of the story actually gave me the creeps a little. It felt a bit noir. Walk us through his trip to McPherson.
So he finds a merchant listed in the McPherson area, and because he's been burned once, he decides to physically go there. He wants to see the product.
Good idea.
He arrives at the address, and it's empty.
Like out of business empty.
Just physically void. No staff, no products on the wall, nothing. Just a locked door with a phone number taped to it.
That is red flag number one, surely. If a store's business model is call this number, I'm probably walking away.
You'd think. But Ben is persistent. He messages the number on WhatsApp. The person on the other end is super responsive, quotes him a price. $95 for the faucet.
Okay, so we've gone from $38 to $95. The price is creeping up.
And then another $90 for installation.
Oh, hang on. $90 to install a faucet? That's almost the price of the faucet itself. That seems steep.
It is. But here's a crucial detail about Ben. He reveals in his posts that he's a retired technical staff member. He worked in a shopping mall for 9 years.
Oh, so he's handy. He knows his way around a wrench.
Exactly. He knows plumbing. So for him, the $90 fee wasn't the real issue. He could just do it himself. That wasn't the deal breaker.
What was the deal breaker then?
It was what the seller said next. The seller told him, and I'm quoting here, "No need to come down to the shop. It's hassle-free. Just forward your voucher SMS to me directly. It's very safe."
Just forward the SMS. That is the modern siren song, isn't it? Maximum convenience.
The allure of a friction-free transaction.
Yeah.
We're conditioned to love it. But Ben just stopped. He refused.
Why? I mean, if he can install it himself, why not just text the code and get the part?
Because he did a proper risk assessment. He broke it down into 3 specific risks, and this is really the core of it. First, unclear credit. An empty shop, a phone number. That's not a business with a reputation.
Right, you can block a number. You can't just make a brick-and-mortar building disappear overnight.
Second, casual process. Forwarding an SMS on WhatsApp. There's no formal paper trail, no official receipt. If something goes wrong, what's your proof? A screenshot.
Good luck with that.
And third, the big one for him, lack of assurance. The seller never once mentioned a warranty.
And after the last faucet basically exploded, a warranty has to be top of mind.
Ben realized all of this convenience was actually just a trap. He has this great quote in his post. He says, "Some convenience hides higher risks."
That is such a powerful idea. Some convenience hides higher risks. We trade security for convenience every single day.
We do. Ben realized that by forwarding that SMS, he was taking on 100% of the risk. The seller gets the government's money, guaranteed. Ben gets a mystery box.
And if it's a brick in the box or it leaks next week, who are you going to call? The ghost at the ghost shop.
Exactly. So he walks away, dodges a bullet, but he still has a broken sink at home.
Right, the drip is still dripping. So where does he go next?
He takes a few days, he doesn't rush, and he finds another shop, this time in Toapayo. And this experience is what we'll call the green flag.
Okay, so paint the picture. Is this one actually open?
It is. It's a real physical shop. Staff, products on display. He walks in and finds a specific brand, NTL or NTL Germany.
NTL Germany. Sounds efficient. What's the damage on this one?
$228.
Oof. Okay, let's just pause there. We started at 38, the ghost shop was 95. Now we're at 228. That's a 6-fold increase from his first try.
It's a huge jump. But let's look at what that $228 actually buys you. It's not just a faucet. First, the specs. NTL is a specialist in bath and kitchen equipment. He mentions things like a piano key interface.
Piano keys on a faucet. What is that?
It's a design thing for switching water modes. Instead of a clunky lever, you have these nice tactile buttons.
Yeah.
It just suggests, precision engineering.
And I see it has a matte black finish, an LED display.
Yeah, the display is usually hydro-powered, shows the water temperature. It's a bit of a gimmick, maybe, but the tech wasn't the real selling point for him.
What was?
It's certification. He noted the product is certified by the Pub Singapore's Public Utilities Board. That's the gold standard. It means the materials are tested for safety, for lead, for durability.
The $38 one probably skipped. And I'm guessing, unlike the ghost shop, there was a warranty.
A 6-year warranty.
6 years. Okay. Now the math changes completely.
Right. The first one lasted less than 2. If this one is guaranteed for 6, you're not just buying a faucet. You're buying 6 years of not having to think about your plumbing.
You're buying the peace of mind premium.
Ben says that explicitly. He wrote, "It was expensive, but it offered peace of mind." And this leads to his big epiphany about the vouchers themselves.
Yeah, I loved this part. He totally reframes how we should look at a subsidy.
He says, and I'm paraphrasing, vouchers are also money and should be spent on the cutting edge.
Meaning, don't treat it like play money you found on the street.
Exactly. The temptation is to use a $300 voucher to get $300 of cheap stuff. Ben argues the opposite. Use it to upgrade your life. Buy the premium thing you couldn't normally justify.
Because if you buy the cheap junk, you're just wasting the government's gift. But if you buy a durable asset, you've actually improved your home's value.
And he connects this to the idea of credit as an asset. The empty shop had no credit, no reputation. The shop in Toapayo, with its rent and its staff, that's reputational collateral. They have an incentive not to scam you.
That's such a critical point. When you pay more at a reputable store, you're paying for the fact that they'll be there tomorrow if it breaks. You're paying for their rent.
Correct. The equation he lands on is simple. A clear warranty is greater than a low price.
Okay, so Ben has his fancy German faucet. He's happy. But then in the comments, he drops the hammer. He brings in Charlie Munger.
the late, great vice chairman of Berkshire Hathaway, Warren Buffett's right-hand man.
And how on earth does a billionaire investor relate to a retired guy fixing a sink?
Because Ben realized his decision-making process was the same one Munger used for stocks. He quotes a core Munger idea. True smart judgment is building a system that can make correct decisions repeatedly.
Building a system. Let's unpack that, because most of us don't have a system for buying a faucet. We have a vibe.
We have a vibe or we have a budget. Ben had a system. Look at what he did at the Ghost Shop. He ran a checklist. 1, can I verify the merchant? No. 2, is there a paper trail? No. 3, is there a warranty? No. The system said stop.
So we stopped. Even though it was cheaper and more convenient, the system overruled his emotions.
Exactly. Munger was famous for the concept of inversion, solving problems backwards. Instead of asking, how do I buy the best faucet?
You ask, how do I guarantee I don't buy a terrible faucet?
You got it. And what makes a faucet terrible? It leaks, it has no warranty, and it's sold by a guy you can't find.
So if you just eliminate all of those options,
What are you left with?
you're left with the expensive, high-quality German one.
Exactly. The right choice is what's left after you filter out all the obvious risks. That's the system. He bought the NTL faucet because it was the only one that survived his risk filter.
It's so interesting to think about convenience as a risk factor itself. The Ghost Shop offered extreme convenience.
And Ben realized that was a trap. We should probably distinguish between transactional convenience and life cycle convenience.
Ooh, I like that. Break it down.
Transactional convenience is, how fast can I buy this? 1 click, the text, that's fast. Life cycle convenience is, how much trouble will this thing give me over the next 6 years? The $38 faucet was transactionally convenient, but had terrible life cycle convenience.
And the $200 one was transactionally inconvenient. He had to travel, pay more.
But he bought himself 6 years of silence, of not thinking about it. That is the true luxury.
The difference between fast and durable.
Ben calls this being the chief risk officer of your own life. The government gave him a subsidy, not a free pass on judgment.
I think that's what sticks with me. He didn't let the free money make him lazy. If anything, he got more rigorous.
He respected the capital. He turned a voucher into a real asset rather than burning it on a temporary fix. It's a shift from a consumer mindset to an investor mindset.
So we've gone from a mundane drip, drip, drip to a full-blown lesson in investment strategy. We saw the false economy of the cheap purchase. We saw the dangers of the modern ghost shop.
Which are everywhere, by the way. Instagram, Facebook Marketplace. If there's no address, you have to be careful. You're gambling, not buy.
Or we saw the triumph of the rational choice. Ben Sim used a system to filter out the noise and find the real value.
And he got a piano key faucet, which I have to admit sounds pretty cool.
I still want to try the keys. But the big takeaway for you, our listener, is about that system. Ben applied this rigorous checklist to a simple plumbing fixture. He refused to forward an SMS because it violated his protocols. So here's the question for you. Where else in your life are you accepting convenience in exchange for a hidden risk?
That's it. Are you hiring contractors based on a text message? Buying insurance based on a handshake?
Skipping the inspection on a used car because the seller seems nice? Maybe it's time to channel your inner Ben Sim and, by extension, your inner Charlie Munger. Ask to see the warranty, verify the address, invert the problem.
Sometimes the harder way in the beginning is the only safe way in the end.
And free money deserves your best judgment, not your worst. Thanks for listening to this deep dive. Stay dry, everyone.
And spend wisely.